What up guys, Miguel here, Vigatech, and it's been a year since ASUS has unveiled their first mobile gaming device, the ROG Phone. It catered to users who wanted to get the best experience and hardware out of mobile gaming. Come 2019 and they unveiled its successor, the ROG Phone 2. You get it? Yeah. The ROG Phone 2 retains the appeal of its predecessor but with some design changes. One of those things you'll notice is the thinner top and bottom bezel. We don't get some sort of all-screen display because of practicality. This is a gamer-centric phone, and ASUS kept those top and bottom bezels so that users' palms wouldn't accidentally touch the screen and interfere with your game. You'll also notice that the front-facing stereo speakers are different from the original ROG Phone. We still get those orange accents, but now a bit more refined and subtle. And I actually prefer this as it emphasizes the reduced bezels. The screen is now larger at 6.59 inches with Corning Gorilla Glass 6 for protection. Of course, you can find that 24 megapixel selfie camera housed above it. On the left is the dual USB Type-C port for the ROG Phone 2 accessories, as well as ROG's Hypercharge. Then towards the bottom is the dual nano SIM card tray. I do want to mention that the orange accented Type-C port cannot be used for charging, so don't make that mistake. On the right, we have the volume rocker and power button. They're solid and tactility is great. Ergonomics also on point as these buttons are easy to reach despite the tall build since it's placed near the middle of the frame. Also found here is the microphone and the air triggers too, which features new algorithms, upgraded 20 millisecond vibration latency, and support for sliding touch gestures. Haptic feedback has also very much improved compared to last year's thanks to that additional vibrate motor. Up top, we have the secondary microphone, while down at the bottom are the USB Type-C port for Hypercharge as well, 3.5mm audio jack, and 2 more microphones for a total of 4! At the back, the ROG Phone 2 sports a familiar yet different design. That triangular ROG aerodynamic system now looks like it's part of the whole device, unlike the one on the original ROG Phone, which looked kinda awkward in our opinion. The camera placement was retained and now gets an updated 48 plus 13 megapixel dual rear camera setup with an LED flash right beside it. The RGB illuminated ROG logo is still here but is now accompanied with holographic accented lines that reflect rainbow-like colors depending on how the light hits it. You'll notice that it no longer has a fingerprint scanner at the back as it now uses an optical in-display fingerprint scanner. Given the upgrades, the ROG Phone 2 is taller, wider, thicker, and heavier than the original. But it also definitely feels more premium. My only worry is that it might scratch easily or shatter when dropped. That's why I'm glad that it came with a protective case in the package, which reminds me of a boxer's helmet because of its cutouts. Nonetheless, it's still better than having nothing. More on that display, as I mentioned earlier, the screen is larger at 6.59 inches and has a slightly increased resolution of 2340 by 1080. It supports HDR10 and still uses an AMOLED panel, so you're getting punchy colors with deep blacks, though it isn't the most amazing AMOLED panel we've laid our eyes on. It does have an ace in its sleeve though. The original ROG Phone was capped at 90Hz, and boy oh boy does 120Hz make 90 look sluggish. And trust me, if you purchase this phone and keep it on 120Hz, you are not going back. Unless of course you wanna save on some battery life. In addition to that 120Hz refresh rate, the ROG Phone 2 also boasts a 240Hz touch sampling rate, which results in an impressive 49 millisecond touch latency. ASUS says that it's 44% faster than most smartphones. What this means is that the phone's display reacts almost instantaneously to your touches, which is a big factor when it comes to competitive mobile gaming. As for audio, you're getting front-facing stereo speakers. The experience is awesome as it is loud with good quality, with some bass in there. It also features DTS X Ultra, which ROG says is for theater quality surround sound, and the experience is just like that. It's immersive and sounds great for watching videos or playing games. And despite the fact that it has great speakers, the ROG Phone 2 retains a 3.5mm audio jack for better immersion. For hardware, powering the ROG Phone 2 is Qualcomm's most powerful mobile chipset to date, the Snapdragon 855 Plus with an Adreno 640 GPU. Our unit has 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of UFS 3 storage. We don't have to tell you guys if it can run games because it definitely can. You name it. PUBG Mobile, Mobile Legends, Asphalt 9, Honkai Impact 3, it can run everything! What's going to separate this phone from other flagship devices is how well it can handle the raw performance. That brings us to the GameCool 2 cooling system, which is a newly designed 3D vapor chamber which ASUS says is more effective in removing heat from the phone during full speed operation. The AeroActive cooler gets an upgrade as well and is now called the AeroActive Cooler 2. It has redesigned fan blades that is quieter and can provide more airflow into the ROG aerodynamic system. What these features are saying is that the ROG Phone 2 has an improved thermal management for better performance. To give us an idea, we measured the temperature of the ROG Phone 2 in different scenarios. When idle, the ROG Phone 2 sits at a comfy surface temperature of 33.3 degrees Celsius. Then, we played PUBG Mobile for an hour and the temperature jumped to 36.6 degrees Celsius, which is warm but nothing too unusual. Which is great, because who wants sweaty hands when playing? Hashtag PASMA problems. So for benchmarks, I'll have them flash on screen now. X mode is a feature that you'd want to activate before playing a game. What it does is dedicate the ROG Phone 2's system performance to games by bumping the CPU clocks as well as eliminating RAM eating and battery sapping app activity. It also has an effect on benchmark scores too, as you can see on your screens. For software, we get Android 9 Pie out of the box skinned with ROG UI on top. With this iteration of the ROG Phone though, ASUS introduced the Classic theme, which basically turns ROG UI to Zen UI, making the device feel more like a stock Android interface. I of course feel this is a welcome addition, especially for people who wanna ditch that overall gamer interface. Don't let that stock experience fool you though, it features the new ROG Armory crate, which is basically a control center for your gaming needs. From here, you can browse and run all your installed games, manage auto-launch game profiles, and configure your phone's game-related settings. It has Game Genie, which automatically runs when you launch a game. It makes sure you're getting the best gaming experience possible by optimizing the phone's performance, turning off notifications and messages, locking the brightness, displaying game and device info, and customizing the air triggers to name a few. Squeeze Force is still here, which works with the help of the air triggers, like in the normal ROG Phone. You can squeeze the phone to launch certain apps or features like X Mode, Flashlight, or Google Assistant. It's also customizable and can either be triggered by a short or long squeeze. It has Mobile Manager, which is a maintenance tool that cleans the memory and checks for security issues, Twin Apps, Safeguard, which lets you send SOS messages in case of emergencies, OptiFlex, which accelerates app launches, reduces app reloads, and saves power on standby, and of course, the most important, system lighting, which basically lets you customize the RGB ROG logo at the back. For battery, ASUS equipped the ROG Phone 2 with a massive 6000 mAh battery. For comparison, the original ROG Phone only has a 4000 mAh cell. However, I don't think it's overkill as the ROG Phone 2 has to keep up with the new features and more powerful hardware. PCMark's battery bench got us 13 hours and 29 minutes, which is decent, while our video loop test got us a good 22 hours and 4 minutes of playback. When it comes to real-world use, which includes moderate gaming with 120Hz on all the time, we easily got a day and a half to 2 days of battery life. The ROG Phone 2 features a 30-watt hypercharge that can charge the battery in just over an hour, which is impressive considering the large battery. It also supports Quick Charge 4 and power delivery charging in case you don't have the power brick with you. Now, for the cameras. Although built for gaming, the ROG Phone 2 hasn't forgotten about photography. Gamers still need to take pictures, right? In this case, it has a dual rear camera setup consisting of a 48-megapixel Sony IMX586 main shooter and a 13-megapixel 125-degree ultra-wide. It doesn't have a fancy triple or quad camera setup like most phones today, but the configuration is enough for most daily photography needs. Image quality is good, especially when there's plenty of light. There's plenty of details while colors are accurate, though they can come off on the kinda more saturated side. Even during gloomy conditions, the photos have great dynamic range. I can't say the same thing for the wide-angle camera though, as shots appear dimmer and have less details and dull colors. But it is effective for group shots, just make sure there's a lot of ample light. Low light performance is also unimpressive. Noise easily creeps in, but night mode can eliminate most of the noise and illuminate the subjects a bit. For selfies, the 24-megapixel sensor produces decent photos in bright conditions. It's not that good, not that bad either. In low light, the images look washed out and muddy. Now for the goodies, the accessories. Just like the initial ROG Phone, you can buy the sequel with all its accessories, and it comes in this really cool suitcase. First, we have the WiGig display dock. It's basically a Google Chromecast on steroids. Users can hook the dock up to a brighter display like a television or even a projector. Once it's correctly set up, users will be able to cast and play their favorite mobile games to the big screen, super smooth and latency free. Next is the ROG Mobile Desktop Dock. This dock, as the name suggests, turns the ROG Phone 2 into a mobile desktop. For I/O, starting with the inputs, we get DisplayPort 1.3, USB 3 Micro B, an SD card slot, 4 USB 3.1s, a Gen 1 Type A port, 3.5mm microphone jack, RJ45 gigabit LAN, and a Type-C port to power up the dock. For outputs, we have HDMI 2, DisplayPort 1.3, and a 3.5mm combo jack. The mobile desktop dock's build quality is superb. What we didn't like was the exclusion of the USB 3 Micro B cable, one of the most annoying cables in the world, used for external HDDs, mind you. Users checking out this dock are probably thinking of pairing up a mouse and keyboard to their beastly mobile gaming device, and it does work seamlessly. Third, we have the TwinView Dock 2. So yes, like the ROG Phone 2 itself, this is the second iteration of the TwinView Dock accessory from ASUS. The first gen dock had a more compact form factor with 2 additional triggers users could program for gaming. This iteration is larger, obviously because the ROG Phone 2 has a larger display, but we also lose those trigger buttons. Luckily, this was by design, because you can pair the TwinView Dock 2 with the ROG Kunai gamepad. This accessory gives the ROG Phone 2 controller functionality with 16 mappable keys. Its design is very reminiscent of the Nintendo Switch, as the left and right ASUS Joy-Cons can be removed and paired together with a grip that's included in the box. Lastly, we have the Lightning Armor case. It's a very gamer-esque plastic case with a trick up its sleeve. Inside the case is an NFC chip, so the moment it's slapped on, users will be greeted with an exclusive new theme that reacts differently when turning on X mode. The back of the case also lights up with the help of that RGB LED found under the actual flash. And that's it for the accessories. Alright, time to wrap this review up. There are different kinds of flagship smartphones. There are those designated for productivity, some for photography, while others are all-arounders. Then we have the gaming types. The ROG Phone 2, just like its predecessor, falls under this category. This time, ASUS has definitely outdone themselves. The ROG Phone 2 is way better than its predecessor in almost every aspect and can deliver its promise to provide the best mobile gaming experience possible by injecting new features and accessories. The only question left to answer is the price. The original ROG phone started at a steep 49,995 pesos. Now, we don't have official pricing for our shores just yet, but in America, this exact configuration costs 900 bucks. And woo-wee, that is a kinda steep price, but if money is not an object, I mean, this is the best mobile gaming experience you can buy today, and if you want the best of the best, I'm pretty sure the ASUS ROG Phone 2 will not disappoint you. So, what did you guys think of the ASUS ROG Phone 2? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smack that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell icon so you get notified of future uploads. Be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Miguel, and I'll see ya in the next one.